Hey guys, Marsingin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so yesterday we took another look back at the physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and how he's looking like in the current meta, which, I mean, spoiler alert if you haven't seen that video, not particularly good, right? Even against a enemy, right? So very much looking forward to his EZA, and another unit that's going to EZA alongside him, of course, in 2 weeks' time is the Super Saiyan 4 BROLY. Now, again, I'm always reminded when I see his art, when these guys get EZAs, we'll obviously be able to use stickers on them, and any characters that have like the key balls in their art usually end up with pretty cool sticker effects, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing what BROLY's one is going to be. Now, BROLY, more so compared to Vegito, is the one that needs a lot of work when it comes to his EZA, right? So his super attack is immense damage, which is cool, greatly lowers defense. That's it, right? So no super attack effect like raising attack or defense. And then his passive, he gets all of his stats on super. Attack and defense 140% when performing a super attack. Then he launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super when there is another giant 8-power ally attacking in the same turn. So the problem is, if you don't have a giant 8-power ally, he doesn't get any built-in additional at all. And then even when you do, you only have a 50% chance that it's a super and then 50% chance it's a normal. That does obviously at least help to activate his hidden potential. Man, I have not looked at his skill orbs in quite a while. He's got some pretty old ones. I gave him a mix of like additional and crit, right? Because you want him to get on those ideal turns. You want him to be getting the triple super and then ideally getting crits, right? So we're going to try him out. We're on the double blue Goku and Vegeta team because, funnily enough, I didn't realize until looking at their leader skill again today, these guys will lead all of the heroes Super Saiyan 4s because they lead Power Beyond Super Saiyan and then give Time Travelers an additional 30%. So basically all of the heroes Super Saiyan 4s, including the new ones that will be coming out, are all on these guys' 200% leader skill, which is definitely very cool. Now, unfortunately, I brought Super Saiyan 4 Goku to run with BROLY. He's in slot 7, so we do have to have one turn where we don't have the giant 8-power ally, which obviously means we are going to suffer from the lack of that second part of his passive. He starts the turn with 56k defense with no support, so that's good, right? 140% on super, which means he's only going to get, what? Another 70k, something like that. So he's going to be at 120k defense after supering. Not very good. So we'll see how... this was the hardest of the new events that I thought we might be able to bring him into and him just not get immediately one shot. So we'll see. And then obviously, much like the Vegito video yesterday, I'll just take him into a slightly easier event after this so we can see a bit more of his performance. But hopefully we can get through this first turn. And this is why, obviously, now when he gets his EZA, I like really the main point of re-showcasing these units. I know they're not going to be great in the current meta, so it's more so just to kind of talk about the unit and discuss like what we want to see from their EZA and stuff like that, right? So he does share 3 links with the LR Blues, and we did get the additional from his hidden potential. And this is what I was just about to say, right? When it comes to what we need to see from his... Of course he did. Are you serious? The only attack he had to take on the turn. And it's the super. So how much does this do? I mean, I'm sure we're dead, but 430. Well, the team's got a lot of HP, so actually we're still alive. So yeah, the big thing that BROLY definitely needs when, you know, any of these units that are going to be throwing out a ton of additional supers, him getting all of his stats on super is obviously pretty bad for this meta where all of the toughest bosses have AoEs now. So we would ideally like him to have some start of turn attack and defense. Him still getting a huge amount on super is not a big deal, right? It doesn't matter if he's a slot 2 or slot 3 unit primarily, but when it comes to these AoEs, he obviously does need some kind of start of turn stats. But the big thing obviously is going to be for him getting some kind of defense raising on super. I think that's like the huge thing that he definitely needs, right? Because once we get that, then obviously the turns where he is throwing out 2 or 3 super attacks, we are going to see him raising that defense to a reasonable level. Now the problem I've got on this turn, Bulma and these guys should be fine. I don't know if Vegeta, how well will he tank attacks from Zamasu at the end? I mean, as long as we don't get supered, we should be fine, but I guess we'll see. I did want to make it into the next turn, right? But Obviously, I should have brought a healing item as opposed to the Whis. Although I always forget, the Divine Wrath and Mortal Will, I can bring an extra item, can't I? So I should have just brought a Senzu Bean. Fortunately, this event does have infinite attempts, unlike the red zone. So if Vegeta does just get washed at the end here, I'll just jump back in. But I do at least want to see one rotation of Broly with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because looking at the link partners, he actually shares 5 links with Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It's just unfortunately for Limit Breaker Goku, we couldn't bring him on the team, because even though he does get the 200% leader skill from the Blues as well, he needs the whole rotation to be heroes or full power. So he obviously doesn't work very well with them. But they share a lot of links. He does share 4 links with LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. They share Super Saiyan Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Raw and Fierce Battle, which for a Super Saiyan 4 unit, pretty decent set of links to actually have active. You're actually kidding me. Both turns in a row, this dude has super attacked the worst possible unit on the rotation. Okay, well, let's jump back in here. Okay, so jump back in. Broly's on turn 2, but he is with LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Both the blue boys were on the first turn, which is not usually ideal, but at least it means we don't have one of them on the rotation wanting to go in slot 1 on the next turn. Hopefully the one at the end here will be fine. But going back to talking about Broly's links, so he shares 4 links with LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and obviously the big one for Super Saiyan 4s is Saiyan Raw, because when you get it to level 10, you're obviously not only getting the 25% attack, but you're getting 10% defense as well, which will obviously help this Broly quite significantly. But fortunately, this Broly didn't get sidetracked with like things like Berserker and stuff like that, right? He has Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Nightmare, Brutal Beatdown, Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Raw, and Fierce Battle. So even on teams with a bunch of other like extreme units, he has links like Nightmare and Brutal Beatdown. So a bunch of the extreme Saiyans he'll have decent links with as well. But because he has a relatively normal like Super Saiyan link set, he actually shares 4 links with characters like the 8th anniversary LRs, where it's the Buu duo and then the GT Vegeta. I think he only shares 3 links with the actual GT duo in their base, yeah. He shares 3 links with the actual Blue Boys themselves, who are the leader of the team. But going back to 4, we've got characters like the STR Carnival Goku, Int, Vegeta and Trunks, the Tech Bird Coup, basically all LR Super Saiyan Gokus, because they have the same links, right? So STR Carnival, Tech Carnival, Int Namek Goku, AGL Spirit Bomb Absorbed, AGL Gohan, because he has the same link set as them. He also shares 4 links with Tech Broly and STR Broly. So when Tech Broly gets his EZA, that could be kind of interesting. The only problem, which as we've already mentioned, is that we do... Oh no. Man, that item button being next to auto battle messes me up so much. But the only problem, of course, as I said, is these characters, not only do they not have Saiyan Raw, but Broly needs a giant 8-power ally on the rotation to get that extra part of his passive, right, for the additional. So on this rotation, we have Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Saiyan Raw, Prepared for Battle, and Fierce Battle. We're linked up with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? So Super Saiyan... We're getting Saiyan Warrior Race from this Vegeta. So what does Saiyan Warrior Race give us? 10% attack. Okay, so start of turn, we got the Bulma support from the previous turn. He's at 85k, thanks to the Bulma support and Saiyan Raw. So he gets 140% on Super. So that's roughly what? 150% would be like 120k. So we'll say 110. That's putting him up to just under 200k. So is it around 200k defense after supering? Which, I mean, for the current meta, for anything that isn't an AGL boss, that is obviously pretty terrible. But let's go ahead and see. Hopefully he doesn't just get immediately supered this time. I kind of want to see him, you know, actually take a normal from Zamasu and see what kind of damage he takes here. Yeah, Super Saiyan 4 Goku took his first hit. Now his defense is going to be boosted and we get the super attack effect as well. Mine is only 55%, but yeah, now he'll take double-digit damage. And Broly's up to 4.2. So once you start getting some of these attack links active, especially Saiyan Raw, which is 25% attack, right? So 4.2. That was the one from the passive, which could have been a normal, but we hit the super and we get the hidden potential as well. So there we go. There's the triple super. So because we got the Bulma support from the previous turn, this is pretty much Broly's like best turn, right? 4.2 million supers. Now, you imagine if he's raising defense by, even if it was normal, like raise defense for 1 turn, he's raising defense by 30% on each of those super attacks. Would that have been double-digit damage? He took, what, 60k? But he pretty much would have got a whole extra, almost to 400% after performing the additional supers if he had raised defense for 1 turn. I mean, yeah, I think he could. Like, if he gets a decent EZA, bear in mind, of course, you know, he's also going to have EZA stats and the updated passive as well. So his base stats are going to go up. And him and the Vegito, especially when they released that year, I mean, this guy has a lot of stats. He has 18,500 HP. And 10,000 defense. So once he gets those EZA buffs, his stats will be pretty solid. So I can imagine him being quite good. The only thing I am concerned about, obviously, as we've kind of already covered, is the restrictions that he has in his passive already, having to have the giant 8-power ally. Because, I mean, you're probably going to end up running him on those teams for the most part anyway, but it's always nice for units to have versatility, right? The biggest gripe people have with the Heroes units is them being locked to the Heroes team. And that restriction doesn't lock him to the Heroes team specifically, but giant 8-power allies. It means even if you wanted to run like a full extreme Heroes team, there's no, like, you've got Great 8 Cumber, who's okay. Obviously, this year we're getting Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly as well. So if Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly is like a really, really good slot 1 tank, then the rotation of him and this EZA Super Saiyan 4 Broly next to each other should be quite good. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they do with this guy. You guys will have to let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I think if I had to design his passive like fully now myself, obviously we need to give him start of turn attack and defense. I'm not going to guess like what kind of numbers, right? He's getting 140% on super. I can't see them reducing that. So if they give him a decent amount at the start of turn, they probably can't put that up by too much, because 140% on super buff is a lot if his start of turn defense was already relatively good. So I could see him getting like 80% or 100% start of turn, which doesn't sound like a lot, but with the EZA stats, I mean, it's still not a lot start of turn, but then he's getting 140% on top of that. So let's say 100% start of turn, 100% attack and defense, then the 140 on super. Why not put it up to 150? But I could see it staying 140 because it is a large buff. And then, yeah, make sure you give him attack and defense on super. But then the big thing, I mean, if you really want to make him go crazy, which would be awesome, right? Because obviously I want the Heroes units to be OP, right? I want this to finally be a year where people don't complain about the Heroes units, right? So imagine if they gave him greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn on super, and then we give him the when we're putting in restrictions, I think the restriction, if it's going to be reduced to a specific category ally and it has to be on the same turn, it should be guaranteed. So he should get in his passive, I think, guaranteed launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super, and then give him guaranteed additional super if there's a giant 8-power ally on the rotation. Because then if there is a giant 8-power ally, you hit the 50% chance from his guaranteed one, and you get the hidden potential, he could super attack 4 times in 1 turn. And then if you're giving him greatly raised attack and defense on each of those supers, he would actually be kind of a beast. Now, obviously, again, like slot 1 or AoEs, he's not going to be good for that, but I mean, that's not really what he's there for. He's there for the big damage. So hopefully we get... I mean, the Heroes... The biggest complaint with the Heroes units or the Heroes team builds in general is they do just need better slot 1 units. So even though it's kind of like 2 of the 3 headliners, I am very much hoping that both the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s from this year's banner are going to be good slot 1 units, right? Because 569, damn. 55% Goku. Goku is a unit that does benefit so much from dupes. Like, the more I use this unit, I really love him, but his kit is like designed realistically for him to be in slot 1. And until you get that standby, like the base Goku in slot 1 is a bit of a liability. Because even after his super attack, he takes significantly less damage from that super, right? But unfortunately, Broly gets us killed now, unless he dodges, which he did not. So, I mean, there you go. There's Super Saiyan 4 Broly in a somewhat difficult event. I mean, 65k from normals. Now, like, you know, yes, obviously, this event, not the hardest. He's got type advantage. But, I mean, that's not terrible for an event that literally released, like, this year, right? So let me know what you guys think of Super Saiyan 4 Broly down below in the comment section. There's not really much more to show from him because he doesn't do anything else, right? Like, he's not raising the attack on super, so we saw the triple super turn. He got the same attack stat every single time. He doesn't raise defense, so he's always going to be at that rough same amount defense every turn. So they really, really need to give him some kind of tech because Like, they literally just had the chance to do an additional super and restricted to a specific ally, and that's all he does other than doing attacks, right? So this guy definitely needs a lot of work, but I feel like they could very easily make him very, very good. So I guess we shall have to wait and see what they do. But let me know what you guys think down below. Like I said for Vegito yesterday, if you had to design his EZA, what would you do? Let me know in the comment section down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.